Welcome to an episode of Chat Sports Talk, and welcome back to the meat of this channel, college realignment. That's right, we're going back to college realignment. This one's just going to be a quick synopsis of the ongoing drama we got going right now in the ACC. As we all know, the ACC has a media rights deal that's not as in effect until the year 2036, and they are the lowest paying of the power conferences. The Big 12 gets more money than they do. SEC and the Big 10 are the two big dogs right now, and the two of the premier blue bloods in football of the ACC have filed lawsuits against the conference to challenge the exit fee they have to pay, because we all know it's the year 2024. So they're trying to get out 12 years before the contract actually expires. And they don't want to spend millions of dollars to leave the conference. So they're trying to force their way out. And if they do that, it's going to cause a cascade. The Magnificent Seven, as per se, schools like North Carolina, Miami, Virginia Tech, NC State will probably start looking to push it away as well. This is even after, before the ACC, decided to expand west and grab Cal, Stanford, and SMU, with the push from Notre Dame to grab those programs. And so the ACC is no longer an Atlantic Coast Conference, it's now an American Coastal Conference. And athletically, those three don't really add much to it, but they've also shortchanged themselves. SMU has sold their soul just to get into a power conference, saying they're not going to take any funds for like 7 years before they start getting anything. And there's been so much content out there, so many false stories and fake news out there about Florida State and Clemson, that the Big 10 would invite them, the SEC would take them, the Big 12 would take them. All right, so let's just kind of go this before. I said it before, I say it again. I'll continue to say this until people start making these asinine statements. In order for a school to be invited to the Big 10, they must be a member of the AAU. As of right now, Florida State and Clemson are not members of the AAU. There's only a handful of programs in the ACC that are. That does include Miami, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia. Those will be the ones that the Big Ten will go after. Any member that's in the AAU. So you can take out the Big Ten out of the equation. I mean, the Big Ten will probably go into the ACC if the ACC does decide to fall apart before its term is up and exit fees are less severe. I can see schools start to depart. I think I've done videos of this before. I might have to re-look at that again to see where these programs could end up going. But I see schools like North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia all heading to the Big Ten. But that's a different time frame, different video, different discussion. So then the other one was talking about the SEC, which I think Florida State and Clemson really want to get in there. This is where I think they belong. They think they belong. And the SEC has become this powerhouse of college football right now, where you look at how many recent national champions have been out there, how many times they've been ranked number one, how many times you see them every single weekend on TV. They're right now the premier conference of college football. They talk the talk. They have people that talk the talk for them. But 9 times out of 10, they walk the walk. So that's why Florida State-Clemson wants to go in there. Plus, they have already rivals in there. Florida State has the Florida rivalry, Clemson with South Carolina, plus a couple other SEC programs from the day when they all were once member of the old Southern Conference before they all start breaking off. But SEC stated that they're staying put at 16. They're not moving anytime soon. I think the only way they would move is if the ACC imploded. Then they would start their warpath and start gobbling up institutions. And then there was rumors about the Big 12, and because they've always said they're open for business, they're always looking for more. They're at 16. I think they want to get more. I think they want to get up to probably get bigger than the Big 10. We're sitting at 18. ACC's technically sitting at 18. But 17 football. And they're trying to find ways. There are stories out there about Florida State, Clemson, Notre Dame joining the Big 12. Put it this way, Notre Dame football will remain independent as long as they have their money train. As long as they're the contract with NBC, they're not leaving independent status in football. As long as there is a path for them to become a national champion once again, something they haven't done since my youth, they will stay independent. They have the flexibility to schedule whomever and wherever they want to go. They always have those games, at least one game a year in California, be it either at Palo Alto or Los Angeles. They always have a game against Navy, and a lot of times those are neutral site games. They also have a lot of the Shamrock Series where they also go to different venues to play against programs. You know, in Chicago, New York City, Arlington, San Antonio. It's just one of those things that Notre Dame does, and they have a national following. But until they are locked out of a chance to become a football champion, and being independent no longer makes them the money that it does now, they will remain independent despite my wishes that they join the Big Ten. You see my videos, I've always stated that, and I will continue to state that until they join the Big Ten. But like I said, another one that's floating out there is Oregon State and Wazoo, who've been left out of the Pac-12 disintegration. They're kind of left out on the island, and they're still holding to that Pac money because there are only 2 programs to get it now for like another year. And they've already started to shift their sports to other conferences, which has cost them talent that they've also left. And like, no, we're not going to play in these weaker conferences as they perceive it. And they need that power conference level once again. And I think the only conference that can fit that bill is the Big 12. But I don't see the Big 12 accepting them unless they grab maybe 4 more and get to be the first one at 20. And that's where another collaboration was Florida State-Clemson joining with those 2. But I don't see Florida State-Clemson doing that. It's almost like a shift in style. Pretty much. I mean, you got the heavy hitters of the Big 12. They can match up pretty well with the heavy hitters of the ACC. The blue blood football programs, you could probably put BYU, always been up there. Right now, I guess Utah, K-State, TCU. I mean, Central Florida and Cincinnati's had some good runs. West Virginia has some good runs. Arizona's has a few good runs. Colorado has potential, but we'll see how far Deion Sanders can take them. So there's flashes here and there with this conference with certain member schools that matches what's in the ACC now. So they're not really changing the landscape too much. They're just changing locations. They're just changing time zones. They're going, say, solely on the East Coast. Now they got to go out in the Four Corners. They got to go out down to Texas. I mean, that could be a thing for them, but I think they're looking more at trying to get the SEC. SEC says no. And they just recently stated, even though they're still going through a legal battle with ACC, they are staying put, at least for this upcoming athletic season, and we'll continue to explore possibilities of leaving further down the road. I have a feeling unless the SEC changes their mind, Florida State-Clemson is going to stay put until closer to the end of this conference, and maybe they break away and create their own new conference, trying to get money. Maybe they start breaking off some of the bigger programs, ACC, and generate their own conference, get their own contract, and maybe start seeing a shift away from the mega conference back to more traditional matchups. At least that's my hope. Because these mega conferences make no sense. I mean, the Big Ten going from coast to coast, ACC coast to coast, SEC in Missouri, in Oklahoma. Hell, I'll throw in Texas in there too. I mean, there's just too many question marks right now with the current landscape of college athletics. It's no longer about tradition and rivalries. It's all about where they can make the most money. I think that's just my personal opinion. I think it's a lot of people's opinion, but that's beside the point. The point in this video is Florida State and Clemson still fighting with their parents, but are staying in the house for the time frame. We'll see how this transaction continues moving forward. Maybe, they can reconcile some differences. Maybe they can get other member schools to try and find some way to renegotiate with ESPN and cancel the current contract, which I think is going to be a little hard to do. But in that aspect, it can really help boost their confidence, boost their numbers. So there's, I think, a lot of things that need to be addressed overall by college football, but in terms of realignment, Florida State and Clemson are staying put. They still got the lawsuit. We'll see how things transpire. I'll probably start looking at aspects of what could happen if the ACC follows the pack and the dodo bird into extinction. I'll probably relook at some of my other college realignment videos out of Missouri State and Delaware, definitely official members of the FBS starting in 2025. And look how I would rearrange those conferences with those two now in the picture. And we'll just kind of go from there. Let me know what you think. I did kind of rant a little bit off subject, but the meat and potatoes is Florida State Clemson staying put, but they're still fighting. We'll see what happens. SEC is right now not expanding. They're not going to get into Big Ten. The Big 12 might be their only option, but that may not happen either unless they grab some more. Whole convoluted mess. We'll see how that plays out. But let me know down in the comments below what you think of the scenario. Do you think the ACC is doomed? Or can they survive and have a rebirth of eliteness in that conference for football? Let's mix it up in the comments. It really helps boost the algorithms, help get this video out to the masses. The more people engage, the better it is. If you like what I do and you're still here at the end, go hit that thumbs up for me. I really appreciate it. It really helps out the video a lot. Another thing you guys can do is subscribe. Let you guys review my work, and I appreciate you all for doing so. Now, me subscribe, doesn't cost you a dime. You just click that subscribe button, click the bell icon, turn on notifications, so you know next time I post any more content on my channel. And I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.